I was wrong about this gate. But not just that, I was wrong about a great many things I've tried to do. But this video isn't about the things I've gotten wrong, but the importance of me getting it wrong. And there's so many other things I want to say, I want to share with you, but like why questions people have, like why do I have a shirt on my head? Why is it so hard to understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, although I'm trying really hard to make it clear. But the important thing is what I've learned from being wrong in these mistakes, how it helps me, and how these lessons can also help you in turn. I like learning and growing in my knowledge, but there is a problem with learning too little. It's something called the Dunning Kruger Effect, where it contrasts our perceived proficiency in something and with our actual proficiency. It's a graph that looks something like this. We have our confidence here, our perceived proficiency, and our competence over here, and it generally follows the shape something like this. We start off, you have no confidence and no competence, and that's obvious. You start learning just a little bit, and you suddenly think you have all this confidence and proficiency, but in reality, you don't. You haven't moved anywhere hardly on the competence side of the scale. And this can be very disastrous. For example, when I first started canning, trying to preserve some of the fruit that we grow here, as the primary cook, I like to experiment with things. I thought, ooh, what else can I do? It's a good thing I didn't, because the recipes that are made for canning, the canning that I was doing, it's a great place to grow all sorts of really bad bacteria. And if you mess with that, you will make it so that it actually will grow. There's some things you do that stop that bacteria from growing, but I didn't know that at the time. I was over here, but my proficiency was very low. What I like to do now is on things that I think it's important to know something about, I try to get past this part and get down here where I'm not good at something and I know it. I mean, it's good to continue to grow with your proficiency, but if I can get to this point, get past that hump there, and get down here, that to me is the sweet spot. That's where my confidence and my competence are pretty much equal, and I'm not going to do things that are too stupid. For example, with plumbing. At the time that I worked on this, my normal off-farm job had been mainly electrical, but also had a lot of plumbing involved, and I took the skills I learned there to my home. And the water tasted really bad. I wanted to put in a filtration system. I tried to know what my limits are. And so I worked on a design for a while. I came up with, was part of it. And the plumber actually came by and said that what I'd done was actually elegant. I'd done a good job with it. However, I made a mistake. For the application, I should have not used a plastic valve. I should have used a metal one. I was used to plastic at work, so that was what I used. But it was not the best choice for this application. Point is, I knew that I wouldn't be able to plumb an entire house. I mean, if I had to and there was no other way to do it, I could probably do something that would work. It would take a lot longer. There'd be a lot of learning for myself, probably a lot of mistakes, probably be inefficient, but I wouldn't be surprised that there'd be some mistakes, like with this plumbing job where I should have used the metal valves instead of the plastic ones. Oftentimes we learn more from our failures than we do from our successes. If we succeed at something, or if we have like a natural gift, there's a few things that I'm good at, and in a way it holds me back because did I get it right because I did this and this right, or did I get it right because this over here was right? I don't know. It doesn't help you as much, but you learn a lot more from your failures because you see this is a problem, and then you figure out how to fix it, and then you've got the solution to it. So with failure brings lessons. The people who are gifted may stagnate because they have it easy, but then they don't really grow as much from learning lessons. They can if they learn, but just being gifted alone isn't enough. We need to make mistakes and to learn from them. People can become the victim of their own success, where they'll succeed at something but not know why, and then they can't repeat it continuously. They don't know all the things that might affect their success that might lead it to failure. And the more that I have learned about the importance of being wrong, I've realized that there's a lot of benefits. It's very powerful to admit, I did this wrong. The more we recognize our own limitations, the more approachable we are. So if someone wants to come to us and they've made a mistake, we can understand it better because we admit that we've made mistakes. And we're also able to learn more because instead of trying to close our eyes and cover our ears and stick our head in the ground and pretend nothing's wrong, we actually have to deal with the consequences, and we'll learn from those. So the point of this is that I'm going to be making videos and saying things that, based on my own experience and from what I've learned from others, but I could be wrong. I could be making mistakes, and I recognize that I am flawed and that I can be wrong about things. I want to admit that up front. In my professional career, I've spent a large part of it inspecting the work of others, and I've learned something very important, and that is that everybody makes mistakes, including the people who inspect and look for those mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. It's not so much whether or not you make mistakes, it's what are you going to do because of it. Being wrong is universal. It's something that we all have this flaw. We all get things wrong at times. And we have to make sure that we don't allow our perception of things, we think we have, our confidence, to exceed our competence, our actual proficiency. And if we do this, we can also learn from the mistakes of ourselves and others. It's very valuable to learn from other people's mistakes, so then we don't have to make them ourselves. There's also power in admitting our own fallibility, that we can make mistakes and we will at times. So I was wrong about this gate, about how to set it up. I'm wrong about that and other things. I was wrong about many things, and I still am. But I will learn from being wrong and share these lessons with others. So I hope this helps you.